Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be watching this, welcome back for another Football Manager experiment on 2018's edition. As you'll be able to tell from the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be finding out how the best loan players from the EPL would fare if they were all put into a team and competed in the English Premier League. Now, I've picked loan players from the top 6 teams. So we've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and from Tottenham. I've selected all of their best players who are currently out on loan, and we're going to put them all into a team and see how they get on. Now, the team that I have selected is Southampton. Obviously, well-rounded academy at Southampton, and I figured this would be the best place for some of these youth guys to develop. As you'll be able to see, obviously, we've got the likes of Angus Gunn, Dean Henderson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Borthwick Jackson, Denea. We've got Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount, Anoma, Pereira, Patrick Roberts, Abraham. The list goes on. Basically, what I've done is I've put Southampton under a transfer embargo, and this is going to have to be the team that the manager selects from. There will be some players in here who will not get first-team chances. I highly doubt this guy from Arsenal's academy is going to get any game time at all, but we shall see. But it's just going to be interesting to find out how a team of youngsters would fare in the Premier League, because it's often an accusation made against the big clubs that they sort of hoard in the best youth team, you know, the best youth players from around the countries, and they just stockpile them, loan them out, and they never give them a first team opportunity. The big teams then say, well, they're not quite ready for first team experience with us. That's why we send these guys out on loan. But I just want to see how they get on. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for some of these guys to show what they're capable of. And it'll be an interesting experiment to see whether or not some of the bigger teams should give some of these guys an opportunity. So we are going to holiday forward 1 year into the future and find out how Southampton got on as a whole. See who's coming as some of their standout performers, and if anybody's reputations have gone up, etc. But this is going to be, I think it's going to be a really interesting experiment. If you want to see a second part to it, a second season, leave a like and let me know down in the comment section. That would be really interesting to see, because as I said, this is the kind of stuff that really fascinates me within football, and I hope you guys find it interesting as well. So let's holiday 1 year and see how Southampton get on. Right, here we go then. Holidayed 1 year. Let's find out how our squad of lone misfits has got on in the Premier League. So if we type in Southampton onto here, we can... Oh, no, they just disappeared. Let's have a try again. There we go, Southampton. So instantly we can see that they finish in 19th place. So the loan experiment has not worked. They are, wow, they got relegated by 3 points. They only managed to pick up 7 wins. Other than the fact they won 2-1 away from home against Man City, the teams that they did beat, you would expect them to beat. The draws again, other than Chelsea and Man City, they got 4 points against Man City. That's a good result. But other than that, 19 defeats is a really, really poor return from this team. So, yep, they'll be spending next season in the Championship. That would make for an interesting part 2 if this first one goes down quite well. If you guys want to see whether or not they can bounce back, because remember, the overall team has got a transfer ban, so no one can move in or out of the club for the foreseeable future. So if you do want to see it, then let me know, and we'll do another part 2 in the Championship. But if we have a look at the rest of the fixtures, so how did they go on? So they got knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, and they got knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup. But look at that end of season set of results. They won the final game of the season against Brighton, but that is it. That's a really bad run of form. So many draws. You know, West Ham, Huddersfield, Stoke, Newcastle, Leicester. These are teams that they should be picking up some sort of points against. But clearly, when they were in a bad run, it's quite clear that without any leaders and without any senior members of squad, they have really, really struggled. So at the moment, everyone's morale is extremely poor. Have they put anybody into the under-23s? So obviously these are the regens, but no one's been relegated to the under-23 team. But if we have a look at the overall then, so who got the most appearances? So Jason Denayer from Man City got the most appearances. He finished in 40. Patrick Roberts, Tammy Abraham, and etc. etc. There was a couple of players in here. So Casey Palmer, as I predicted. Mavidi, who only played 1 game this season. Mason Mount only played 2. There's some guys that are really struggling here. Joshua Anoma's only been used from the bench, which is a real surprise. Who's got the most goals? Yeah, Tammy Abraham. He's the main striker in the squad, so that's no real surprise. And quite a few guys chipping in with some others. Assist-wise, Patrick Roberts has adapted to the Premier League very, very well. And his value has increased a lot, actually. Overall rating-wise, again, Patrick Roberts at the top. Tammy Abraham's near the top as well. With an average rating of 6.9, I'm surprised Ojo didn't get more appearances, but there we go. What else can we have a look at? I'm guessing staffing situation. Yeah, so Pellegrini did get sacked. Manager movements. Well, hang on, let me have a look at the inbox. Oh, he's literally just been sacked. So we've got Aita Karanka, who could potentially take over, and there's a couple of others. Marco Silva might be a decent appointment, but that's really interesting. So, as I said, when the going got tougher, this squad just couldn't hack it. There was no one to guide them in terms of an overall leadership. Then let's have a look. Who's the strongest mentality on this leadership? Yangel Herrera, who has barely played any games, is the strongest overall leader in the team, followed by Tammy Abraham. Who's the actual captain? Tammy Abraham is the captain, so that speaks volumes, really. What else can we have a look at in terms of contract-wise? We've got anybody expiring soon. So we've got a couple of players whose contracts are going to be expiring in 2020. So if they don't get promoted, some of these guys are going to be leaving. Who's on the most wage? Andres Pereira is on 58 grand a week. That'll be interesting to see whether or not that it's going to have to continue because the transfer ban's in place. There's nothing they can do about it. Anything else that we can have a look at value wise? Patrick Roberts are the highest. No doubt, no surprises there because he's been on absolute electric form. Unfortunately, it's a defence that really has let this team down, if I'm being honest. Let's go back to the league table and have a look at it in full. So they scored 42 goals, which is around about mid-table form. It's a lot higher than some of the teams who have finished above them, for the likes of Newcastle, Leicester, Burnley, etc. Yeah, so just below there. But goals against, second worst record in the Premier League. That is really poor and something they're going to have to sort out for next year. It hasn't worked out how I thought it would do. I didn't think they would get relegated. But if you want to see a part 2 where we see whether or not they can bounce back and get promoted out of the Championship, let me know. Comment section, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. Let me know whether or not you want to see a part 2 because I don't know whether or not they will be able to bounce back, if I'm being honest. I don't think this squad, especially... I mean, look at that morale. That's just absolutely shocking. I don't think they're going to be able to bounce back from this. But who knows? As I said, if you want a part 2, let me know. But we'll wrap it up here. An experiment that hasn't gone quite according to plan. We'll leave it on this final league position here. Sorry, Southampton fans. I hope this doesn't turn out like this in real life because you guys are struggling as well. But anyway, as I said, like button, comment, subscribe. If you want a part 2, let me know. And until we see each other next time, adios.